Why would any human voluntarily stay with the same person for years? Not days, not weeks, years. If humans are animals, this seems strange. Most animals don't get married. Most animals don't promise lifelong commitment. So why did humans invent marriage? Most people think the answer is love, romance, soulmates, two people finding each other forever. It's a beautiful story, but it's probably not where marriage began. For most of history, marriage had little to do with love. To understand marriage, we need to go back, before churches, before governments, before kings, before wedding rings, before written language. Back to a world of small human bands, a world without cities, laws, your marriage certificates. Yet the roots of marriage were already growing, and it all starts with a problem unique to our species. Imagine a newborn horse. Within hours, it can stand, walk, and follow its mother. Imagine a newborn deer. By the end of the day, it can run. Now imagine a human baby. It can't walk, run, feed itself, or defend itself. It can't even hold up its own head. Compared to most mammals, a human newborn is astonishingly helpless, and it stays that way for years. This creates a challenge no human can ignore. Imagine a mother living 100,000 years ago. Beside her is a newborn child. The baby needs milk, warmth, protection, and constant attention. But the mother also needs food, water, shelter, and energy. She cannot stay in one place forever. Every hour spent searching for food means carrying a fragile infant, an infant that cannot survive alone. This is the hidden problem that shaped human relationships. Not romance, poetry, or love songs. Children. Because human children are expensive. Not in money, in time. Far more than most animals require. Human childhood lasts an incredibly long time. Years of feeding, protection, teaching, and support. How do you keep a child alive that long? Raising a human child alone is much harder. Now imagine two adults sharing the burden. One gathers resources, while the other watches and protects the child. Resources combine, risks decrease, the child's chances improve. And for the first time, we see the foundations of something important. Not marriage, something older. Pair bonding, the tendency for two adults to remain together longer than reproduction requires. That simple idea would eventually change human history. But pair bonding alone does not explain marriage. Humans formed relationships long before weddings existed. So if relationships already existed, why invent marriage at all? What problem was it solving? Imagine waking up 50,000 years ago. There is no house, no property line, no government record with your name on it. You belong to a small group of perhaps 30 or 40 people. Your relationships are your reputation. If people trust you, they share food, help raise your children, and protect you during hard times. In a world without banks, relationships are wealth. Children are rarely raised by just two parents. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, siblings, and friends all help. Researchers call this cooperative childcare. But even within these larger networks, stable partnerships still matter. Imagine a hunter returning to camp after hours of tracking an animal. He arrives carrying meat. The food is shared. Children eat. Children survive. Tomorrow the roles may reverse. A successful gatherer returns with roots, berries, nuts, or honey. Food is shared again, not because of romance, because they work. Humans quickly learn who can be trusted, who keeps promises, who shares fairly. Over time, reliability becomes attractive. Not just strength or beauty, reliability. Imagine a young woman choosing a partner. One person is strong but unpredictable. Another is dependable, shares food, helps with children, and stays during difficult times. Which partner gives her children a better chance of survival? The answer seems obvious. And over thousands of generations, those choices shaped human behavior. This helps explain something strange about humans. We are neither completely monogamous nor completely promiscuous. We sit somewhere in between. Marriage solved one problem, but it created something bigger. A public promise. A man and woman stand in front of their tribe. Around them, dozens of people watch. Everyone now knows they are a family. No confusion, no secrecy, no uncertainty. The tribe remembers. Years later, a child is born. The child points to the same two parents. Everyone already knows who belongs together. Arguments become less common. Inheritance becomes clearer. Property moves through families more easily. As villages grow larger, this becomes even more important. 30 people become 100. 100 become 1,000. People can no longer remember every relationship, so societies create rules. Simple rules at first, then more detailed ones. Some marriages are witnessed by elders, others are recorded by priests. Later, governments begin keeping records. A couple stands before a village elder. The elder writes their names. For the first time, the relationship exists on paper. Marriage is no longer just personal, it becomes official. Families also discover another advantage. Marriage can connect strangers. Two families shake hands. Their children marry. The families become allies. Trust grows. Trade becomes easier. Conflicts become less likely. Marriage now does more than raise children. It connects entire communities. Over time, powerful people notice this too. A king looks at a map. A neighboring kingdom stands nearby. Instead of fighting, the king arranges a marriage. A prince marries a princess. Two kingdoms become partners. One wedding changes thousands of lives. Marriage has become a tool for cooperation, not only between individuals, but between families, between villages, between kingdoms. Yet something important never disappears. Love. Long before governments existed, people fell in love. Long before wedding rings existed, people chose partners. Long before written records existed, people formed deep bonds. Love came first. Marriage came later. For most of history, however, love and marriage were not always the same thing. A young couple smiles at each other. Beside them, their families discuss land, animals, and resources. Marriage often involved practical concerns. Who will help raise children? Who will share resources? Who will inherit property? Who will support the family during hard times? These questions mattered, sometimes more than romance. Then the world begins to change. Cities grow. Technology advances. People become wealthier. Individuals gain more freedom. For the first time, many people can choose their own partners. A young man sees a young woman. No parents arranging the decision, no village elder deciding. They choose each other. Marriage slowly transforms. Love moves closer to the center. The reason for marriage changes, but the institution remains. Because the old problems never completely disappear. Children still need care. Families still need stability. People still need trust. A couple stands beside a child. The child grows. Years pass. The parents remain together. The family becomes stronger. This is why marriage survived. Not because every marriage succeeds. Not because every culture is identical. But because marriage solved problems humans faced again and again. Problems involving children, resources, responsibility, cooperation, and survival. In a strange way, the entire story begins with a baby. A tiny human unable to walk, unable to feed itself, unable to survive alone. That helpless child created a need, the need for cooperation. Cooperation encouraged long-term partnerships. Partnerships created families. Families accumulated property. Property required rules. And those rules became marriage. Today, when you see a wedding ring, a wedding ceremony, or two people exchanging vows, you are seeing the final chapter of a story that began thousands of years ago. A story about survival, a story about cooperation, a story about families, and ultimately, a story about how ancient humans tried to create certainty in an uncertain world.